Welcome to my video presentation CS813. My topic is Flask with Python. Let's get started. What is Flask? Flask is a web framework. And what is a web framework? A web framework is a collection of libraries and modules that enables a web developer to write an application without having a bother about low-level details such as protocols, threads, and thread management, etc. Flask is a web application written entirely in Python. It was developed by Armin Aranacher, who was a leader of an international group of Python enthusiasts named POCO. Flask is based upon WSGI toolkit and Jinja 2 template engine. Flask is a low-level framework. There are other web frameworks such as Django, which is a high-level web framework. So both of them, Flask and Django, are production-based and are widely used in IT industries. Flask is my personal favorite because it's very low light and for server works faster for normal websites. Today's agenda will be to install Python packages for Flask, which would be required for installing the Flask into your system. Let's install then the Flask packages, and then we'll create a website through Flask and also web form creation through Flask, and then we'll run our host server and check the website is working fine or not. Let's get started with the hands-on session. Before starting with the hands-on session, let's take a minute and look at the prerequisites. For the prerequisites for Flask is to install a Python in your system. So if you're using a Ubuntu comes with pre-installed Python. That will be Python 2.7. If you're using a Windows or a Mac OS, then you won't be having a Python installed. So you need to be installing Python. So you can go to the www.python.org website and install Python packages, Python from there. The documentation and installation manual is also present in python.org. So please do visit this website and install the Python, because Python is the must for Flask to run. So once we have installed Python in our system, then we will be installing python-pip and python-virtualenv. So we'll be using virtual environment. Virtual environment enables the person to have multiple projects and without having interdependencies. So let's get started with the hands-on session, because hands-on session will be more elaborate to explain you how Flask works. So let's check if Python is pre-installed in my system or not. So for that, you write Python -version. So Python is already installed in our system. Let's get started with. Let's go and make another. Let's do the packages installation. So apt-get install python-pip. So this will install your pip in your system. So this is administrator level. So if you are in Windows or Mac, you need to give administrator access. And once you install this and you are going to, then you can install the next Python package that will be installing your virtual environment. So you can write virtualenv install Python. So you need to write Python-virtual environment. This will be the command to install in your system. Once it's installed, you use it. I already installed, so I'm not rewriting again. So let's create a directory that we'll be working on. Let's create a directory as msrid. Let's go into the directory. So I've created this directory msrid. So once you have created a directory, you need to enable the virtual environment. So creating a virtual environment, you need to write virtualenv space. Now you have to write the virtual environment name. So let's name it as Flask. So it will take some time to enable the virtual environment. Once the virtual environment is done, you can activate the virtual environment in your system and then get started with your work. So enabling your virtual environment, you need to write source space bin #flask activate. It should be flask/bin activate. It is activated, and under the left corner you can see Flask as your virtual environment. Let's create some directories, a few more directories inside this. Let's create a directory called app. Now everything is set up. Let's use Sublime to use it. So I'm using Sublime for this purpose because Sublime is very flexible in creating using user. So So let's get started. So for firstly, you need a init file. Now you need the init file to run your server. Like to init file will connect your initiative purpose of your file. So let's get started. Let's import some libraries. So from Flask, you need to import Flask. Now you imported the Flask. Now you need to create one variable called Flask. Flask, and in this you need to take a name. You're defining the name. You need to write underscore name. Make sure that you are putting 2 underscores. Then let's import this app to your other files. So importing to views. So now you created the app.init. So let's save it as underscore edit __.py. So you saved it. It got saved. Very good. Next step would be to create one more file. Let's check if it is there. It is there. Now we need to create a route file where you will be creating all the endpoints on which you will be hitting through the loader's port. So let's call all the apps which you need. From app you need to import that app. So now you're inside the app. Let's create the route. So for creating a route, you need to write app route in :/. Now I'm not creating a direct app. You can put the route dual route was one place. So I'm writing index inside this. Now we need to create a definition. I'm writing definition index, giving the definition as the name index. Once we are inside this, it's a Python indenting. So please make sure you're indenting. Or if you're afraid you can't indent, then save the file first and then get started, because indentation will be taken care by Sublime. So now we have saved it as views.py. Our indentation won't be a problem because line will be taking care of that. So definition index. So what do you want to do? Let's return just welcome to MSRIT. So we are writing welcome to MSRIT exclamation mark. So everything is saved. Let's save it. So once you're done this, we need to create a server to run this. So let's make the file. Let's name it as. So for this file run, you need to put everything using the virtual environment. So you need to define the virtual environment here. So hashtag exclamation mark Flask bin Python. Now you have to define that. Now you need to import the form app from the app. Now we've taken the app. Now you just need to implement that run, and let's create debug, so that if any error is there, it will just do for us. Debug is equal to true. So now we have written everything over there. So if there is any debugging, we would be doing. If any error is occurring, we would know by checking that. So once we are done this, let's save. There was we need to import it, not from it, because we already done from. So let's just save it as run.py. So everything is saved. Okay, everything is saved. So now we need to go to terminal and run server if everything is correct. So python.run.py. If everything is correct, it will run fine. So there is a problem with Flask. So the problem was we not install any of the packages. So let's get started with installing the packages. Let's get started with the packages. Just went off. And I just went off. That's what the problem was. Python install Flask. Pip install Flask will install the packages of Flask. It's got installed. Let's install a few more packages. Flask WDF. This will take care for the form work. So everything is done. So now we need to install a few more packages called Flask login. So we have done this. Let's move on. One more thing. Flask open ID. It will depend upon your internet speed, how much fastly it's installing. So now everything is in place. Let's check with your server if server is running fine now. So now the server is running. Now you can check if your first website is hosted or not. So see, it says welcome to the site. Congratulations, you have made your website through Python. So let's create a template with website so that we have a bright broader view of how to use Flask. So let's go back to the film Sublime. Let's create one folder called templates. Inside the templates, let's create an HTML file. Let's save it as index.html. So in this you can take help of Sublime, and if you write HTML, it will give you total documentation of how the Sublime is written. So now what we'll do is using templates, we'll just check if let's take it as a variable and check if actually the title is provided through views.py. If it's provided, then let's print the title. If it's not, then we'll print something else. So use double brackets in this. So double brackets will give you variables from which we have exported from views.py. So let's name it msrit. So if title exists, it will go there. If it doesn't exist, let's write else. If it doesn't exist, it would go to the title. It should go to the title where if it will say welcome to msrit. Okay, now we need to end the for if. So let's write end-if. So everything is correct. Let's save it. Now go to the body part. Let's write hi. So if we're saying hello to someone, let's put in header. Let's say hello to the user. So user also let's provide it from the views.py. So user.name. And let's also write some blocks. So for printing the blocks, you need a for loop because blocks from multiple users need to print. So let's write post and post all the blocks which have been created. If we are using for loop to print that, so how will print that? Let's write double brackets post dot author dot name says post dot body. So whatever is in the body would be printed over here. As those things will be writing in our views.py. And don't forget about brackets. The flower brackets are important. Once you've done this, we need to end the for, and for once you've done the end for, now you can save the file. Now you completed your part in index.html. Now you have to complete your part in views.py. Now let's create one root on which we'll be heading to the index.html. So let's write it as home, and that's the definitions. Let's start with the definition. So we are writing definition home. So in this, what you will be doing is you need to create a user, creating a name for the user. So name should be quotation name. I'm writing my friends the following, and then I'm writing post. So all blocks will be written inside this. So let's get started with that. So post should be like there will be multiple users. So we are writing so we are using multiple dictionaries. So let's write twice. So let's write two people. So let's write author, first author, what he says. So author, his name, let's name him as random guy, Mehak, and what the body says. The body says welcome to MSRT. And another author would say proper. Another writer Piyush, let him say thanks for coming. So let's write that part in the body. So he says thanks for coming. So it's done. Let's save this part. So your index is set, your name is signed. Let's check the server if it's the server is running. So some errors there. So we have missed the colon after the form. So this is how you do it. So you need to put the colon over there. Just save again. Run server. Server is running fine. Go to the browser. Check if the URL works. So you need to write the endpoint as home. So there is a problem with the function in the views. Just go to the views and check the response. So what happens in the views? You have written all the views, but you didn't return it. So you need to return. So for returning, you use render templates. So render templates are which uses the templates to print a form in HTML. So we need to first import it. So we'll be importing it from Flask. So right from Flask import render templates. So now we have implemented, exported the render templates. Let's give them the endpoint. So index.html is the place where we need to put those files, and then the title we need to define it over here. So let the title name be home, and then let's write user is equal. Now we need to pass all the variables which we are passing. So post is equal to post, and user is equal to user. So now you're going to just save the file, go run the so already the server is running, so there's no problem now. Now the website should work fine, and see the website is working fine. See the Mehak says it's not printing because we might have missed some brackets over there in the index. So let's check. Actually the problem is in views.py. We have written capital B, it should be small b. Let's save it again, and then rerun the server, and now it's print absolutely fine. Welcome to the MSIT. This is how you can use templates for working for website development. Templates are very useful in working in class environment as well. So let's start with working on a form which will take input and redirect it to another web page. So let's first define a route, and then we can do all the mapping. So let's write the name as login. So I'm doing it as login. So once you have done it, just write definition login, and other things will be writing soon. Let's save it for time being, and let's go to initiate. So here we need to import config file. So we need to write app.config. From config you're creating an object. So write from underscore object, and in quotation you need to write config. So now you're bringing objects from config file. So you need to save this and create a config file in the MSRT. So I'm creating one file called config.py. Let's save it first. Config.py. So now the file is saved. Now you need to put all the files, whatever you want to write in config.py. Config.py will keep all the secret keys, all the providers, items, and also the enability of forms. So let's first enable the form. So WTF is a Flask package which will give you input from the form. So let's first save this. So WF underscore CSRF underscore enabled. For enable it, let's write it true. So now it's enabled. So the next thing will be to create a secret key. Let's name it as password. This we won't be using, but for time being I'm just letting you know if you would be using it in further. So let's write one more thing. Open ID underscore providers. This will be our IDs which we'll be using for direct usage. So what we do here is we'll define a name. let's write it as Google, and also URL for that. So we are writing the https www.google.com. So now whenever a person clicks on it'll store the name for Google and then rewrite it for the URL. So let's similarly we'll do it for MSRIT. So now MSRIT is also there. So let's do it for URL. Let's set up the URL for MSRIT as well. So MSRIT www.msrit.edu. So now everything is set up. Let's save. Once this is done, we need to write files in. We need to write some files in views, and then also we need to write something. We need to create one more template called login.html, and we need to create one more file called forms.py. Let's say we'll start from the form.py. So now you have saved form.py, and now you have to import few of the files. So now similarly you need to click WTF from Flask. You need to import this WTF, so let's import that first. WTF from WTF forms, you need to import string field and boolean field, and one more thing you need to implement this forms validator. Let's import data required. So now files have been imported. Let's get started with creating a class. Class would be, let's name it as login form. And here you need to import from WTF forms. So now you implemented that in class. Now when the class is done, in class you need to create two objects. One will open ID, and will be remember B. So open ID will be a string field. Let's name it as open ID again. Let's validate it using the validators. Data required. This is a function. Let's save it. Now it's done. Let's whereas remember B will be a boolean field. Let's save it as remember B as well. Now you've done this. Let's put it as default true, false. So what happens in this is whenever you set remember B, it'll make it itself as true. So from default we are making it as false. So when you click on remember B, it will go into true. And open ID will be the ID which you are writing on there for the endpoint, and which only when clicking on submit it will go to true function, and then validate it, and then it will be displaying all the details on the page. So now let's save the file. The form is submitted. You need to write something. Few of the files into .py. So what we need to do it is as you need to import few of the things like which we'll be using. We'll be using Flash for messages and redirect for redirecting few pages. And one more thing, from forms you need to import login. Login forms. Now you need to create an object for login form. So let's create an object. Now we have created an object and we have an object. Now using Flash, let's give some messages. Creating a message through Flash is similar. So let's for form validation we use Flash. So let's validate it first. So validate on submit. So this is a function. If this is true, it will go inside and then use the Flash to print the message. So login was requested for open ID is equal to percentage s and remember me is equal to percentage s. So now we are done. With this. Once again, now we are done with this percentage s thing. Let's okay. Let's print dot openid dot data. Also string. This should be boolean because this is a boolean thing. That's why you're putting it in string. String is open. So remember me dot data. So everything is there. You save the message. So message be printed. One more thing I want to do is if form dot openid dot data equal to https www.msrit.edu. Let's redirect to HTTP again. HTTPS to www.msrit.edu. Now if it's true, it will redirect to MSRIT. It's not, it will redirect. Let's redirect it to home. Now you've done this, let's return the important files. So for that you need to write the template. So inside the template we are going to login.html, which we'll be writing shortly, and then title is equal to sign in, and that title is equal to sign in, and then form is equal to form. And one more thing, we are providing open ID from providers, so that we need to do it right here. So that we'll be taking from app.config and write providers unknown variable is equal to app.config, and these things are in brackets providers. This we are providers we are defined in config.py. So now we are done with this file. So we are done. So one more thing we need to write is methods. For which method we are passing that. So there are two kinds of method. One can be get, another can be post. So two methods can be used. So we would be using post, but for timing I'm writing both. And then now we have to define login.py. Let's save this file as login.html. So now we need to write HTML file for login. So let's take the content from index.html because similar content will be used over here, but only the body part will be changing. So once this is done, so let's get started by writing a script to get all the open IDs from the providers. So let's write a function. So writing a function in JavaScript is similar to writing a function in Java. So we need to write as an OpenID function with parameters which we are giving. So we are giving two parameters, OpenID and providers. So once we have written, let's calculate. If OpenID is over there, search it. I'm searching it in the function with username. I'm writing the username in notations. Please do keep mark of the angular brackets which I'm using. Now I'll check if u is present. If u is not present, then let's use the u value. So user is equal to prompt enter enter your provider username. Okay, a semicolon, don't forget the semicolon. Open id is equal to open id dot substring from 0 to u plus user. So now we are done with this. Let's write the form document. So document dot forms orms or it should be in login, that name of the file, login. Okay, sorry, now I've written all this. So now we need to write the elements open id dot value is equal to open id. So now we define all the values. Now let's write one division where we can check with the home. If you want to go to the home, you can directly go by clicking to the h reference. Now we have done also this. Let's print all the messages which we'll be getting through the Flask mess. For that we need to get all the things using the Flash. So with messages from Flask, so let's define that also with messages. That will be get flashed messages. So this is a function. So let's define this. Let's print all functions. So it will be done through for loop. Let's do it with message and messages. Before doing this, let's check if the messages are present or not, so that we can do that with using a if condition. If messages are present, then you can go to the for loop and then you can print it using double notations. In this bracket you can print the messages and the for. So that's ended. Now we need to end up f2 and f and even end the width. So now this message is also printed. Now we need to define. Now once we have done all messages, we have created a function for providers too. Now we need to print the form. So let's get started with the header. Let's say sign in. Let's create the form. Form should have action, which is for being null, and a method which is post, and then a name. Let's name it as login. Now we have a form with name. Now we inside the form, let's print all the details which will be needing. So like form dot hidden tag. So hidden tag will be printed over here. So now once we have done this, let's write something so that user doesn't forget to, like, you should show what to do with the other thing. So please enter OpenID or sect from below. So this is done. So we need to give the form some space where the user can write the OpenID. So OpenID, and let's define the size. Size is already 80. Sorry, it's meant somewhere else. So right here you need to write size is equal to 80. So So it will give you a space of 80, or which you can write in the space. So if some error is there, let's span the error. Let's print the error. So this error we can get it through a form error for error in form dot id dot errors error, and for so if error is present, it will enter an error. If not, it will give that. Now we need to print all the all the providers. So let's do that with providers. Let's do it with for PR and providers. Providers are there, and we do AFNs. So here it will be using JavaScript. JavaScript is equal to set-open-id. Set-open-id is written. Now in brackets write pr.url and pr.8. And here you just need pr. We just need PR name. So now we have printed the PR name. Once you've done that, you need to close the for loop. So that you need to write end of or. So now you have created the space to write provider's name. That also is created. Everything is done only apart from giving remember me syntax and also a submit button. So let's write that form dot remember me let's do it with input type is submit, name is sign in. So everything is done. Let's save the file. Hopefully no error should come, but let's check for the errors. Now everything is done. Let's check views.py. Everything is fine, looks fine over here. So let's go and check the server. Let's check the server indentation. So there's a problem in data required. Let's check with that. This is in forms.py. So let's go there. So it's forms. Save it again. Run it. So the server is running fine. Let's go check the website. Now you're here. Let's go to the home page first. Let's check if previous things are working fine. So home page is working fine. Let's go to the let's go back to the login. Check is on. So this is also working fine. So you need to just let's check these things are. Let's write password. So this is writing fine. So let's write password. So this is perfectly redirecting. You just need to submit and write and see it's redirecting successfully. Now what you need to do is when the form is validated, you can use it for any kind of web development and any web page notifications or any web page development. Please do use Flask to improve your websites and debugging and even creating dynamic web pages through Flask. Thank thanks for watching my video, and I hope this review helps you in developing more and more Python related websites, and even you can develop here endpoints using Flask. Thank you for watching my video once again, and have a good day, and stay tuned for my more and more updates on Flask development on my website. Thank you.